What is accountability? A question many have asked throughout a plethora of situations involving a party needing to take said accountability for an action perceived to be warranted of not only self-reflection, but also an apology. As the Oxford Dictionary describes the term, accountability is the quality of being accountable, liability to account for and answer for one's conduct, performance of duties, and more. Accountability is a term thrown around a lot on the internet these days. As it was used more frequently, it lost its meaning and grew into a buzzword when criticizing someone. Not only has its meaning been lost to time, so has the knowledge of when or who to apply this term to. Many using the term loosely in many online situations to pressure a creator to take accountability for one's own actions, no matter what said person might be going through at the time, not taking into consideration this person's mental state or mental capacity to take said accountability. We all know who I'm referencing, but that's for another video. One that is a lot more cut and dry than the subject of today's video. Under the influence of righteousness, many take their campaigning of criticism way too far. The mental capacity or emotional intelligence of the individual on the other end is never brought up, and if it were to be, people consider it an outlier. So what happens when you mix a mentally unstable child content creator with a mob of shaky criticism and harassment? The story of how a preteen rose and fell from grace, or whatever grace they had for that matter. This is The Lost Files of Braindead Robin, or Graffiti Alopia. Graffiti Alopia, how they were known at the time, would have their first big YouTube debut, threw off the incessant animation memes and more, with their Sashly video. People enjoyed their content. They were a loud and informal Australian artist who had quite a character to boot. Their seemingly mature outlook on these situations, while being a mere 12 years old at the time, would shock viewers. How could a preteen create content with arguably the same quality as much bigger art commentators at the time with a comedic personality, starting their videos with an iconic, "Hey stalkers." After the positive retro action from their audience, they steadily drifted from making animation memes to the art commentary videos. If you don't know what an animation meme is, it's essentially an artist animating a character, dancing or singing or doing general actions over some song. Songs and certain actions can become trends that other animators in the community can add their own spin on with their own characters and or art style. Graffiti would prove a good addition to commentary. Their chipper dialogue and loud personality would draw on viewers, even the likes of yours truly. They never proved to disappoint, being a sporadic outward commentator that would make extreme statements and generally provide entertainment out of the pure shock that this individual, no older than 13 years old, was talking about situations that involve grim and dark topics, even bringing others to make videos on the situations they would talk about. Guys, don't go digging for this video. Rest assured, I have scrubbed it off the face of the earth. But as their success grew, only by the day, hundreds of subscribers turning to thousands overnight, the first cracks in the maturity and logic behind their videos started to show, and the loud outward personality, holding people accountable with an iron fist, would soon start to backfire. Major Klug is a YouTube animator that started their channel in August of 2018. His content mostly consisted of edgy videos that laugh at average talking points of edgy content creators, furries, gadget kids, and other fandoms that are essentially low-hanging fruit that prove easy to harp on. This guy's a fucking loser! Starting in late 2018, Major Klug would start trolling a user by the name of Soph the Neko, using many alt accounts to troll their comment section. After a continual back and forth, Klug would post their initial video on the matter. I mean, real tasteful stuff, just comedy gold. Soph, being 12 years old at the time, would obviously fuel Klug's trolling ammunition by responding the exact way Klug wanted them to. The drama would continue with constant bickering from both sides until they made amends in late 2019, a whole year later, although this agreement wouldn't last long, as in early 2021, Klug would upload yet another video on Soph. Some more great arguments and points here from Klug, just brilliant. But why would Klug terminate their agreement with this video? Well, in December of the year prior, allegations of Klug grooming a minor would be brought to Soph's attention, Soph then contacting larger creators to talk about or verify the evidence. This evidence was shaky at best according to Klug, clearing up these allegations in his own way. But you may be asking what any of this has to do with Graffiti Alopia. Graffiti Alopia had established a friendship with Soph at this point, would make a video months later criticizing Klug for their content and community. Despite this, the worst was yet to come. Klug would respond with a video misgendering and ridiculing Graffiti. This video would direct mass amounts of harassment towards Graffiti, people questioning Klug's intentions with this video, as the theme of the video was immature at best. In the following months, it would all become too much for Graffiti. In December of 2021, Graffiti attempted suicide. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it is directly a result of Klug's fanbase in their video, as blaming one person for an attempt, let alone someone dying, isn't appropriate or correct. With that being said, however, it clearly left a huge impact on Graffiti. Klug's response was even worse. He argues that Graffiti has thicker skin than that, and it was a joke video and just some stupid comments that were easy to ignore. Well, Klug, not everyone is a grown adult. Maybe the 13-year-old won't take the body shaming and misgendering too well. In defense of Klug, he put disclaimers, but judging from these comments, the disclaimer was likely a precursor to use against the point of harassment claims to absolve himself of all responsibility. Graffiti would return days later, explaining that they had survived the attempt and that it was in fact the harassment that led them to it.
Who you a fool for this?
Oh Lord, Jesse made another one. Back in the mail, it's gone. She like I smell cologne. Yeah, just on the deal, I'm on. Yeah.
Not even a week later, Graffiti would return, to the excitement of many and the disdain of even more, especially considering the sour note that they would return on. On their returning debut, Graffiti would post a video accusing Major Klug of being a groomer.
So goddamn shady, I knew something was up. Anyways, hi, hello, I'm Graffiti. Some of you may have noticed this audio sounds a wee bit different, and that's because I don't exactly have my microphone right now, so I'm using my phone. This is probably the part you all came to see. First, I want to say something. Any and all comments saying this girl, this child, was at fault will be blocked, deleted, point blank. So when Klug was 17, he groomed a 13 to 14-year-old.
Despite this, the accusation would mostly fall flat, considering it was loosely based on evidence and more off of word of mouth. The allegation spread, not for awareness like the usual run-of-the-mill accusation, but purely for the sake of disbelieving and debunking them. I don't mean to spoil the story, but the community was right. The allegations were not true. On December 25th, YouTuber Pondersprocket would subtweet about Graffiti's video and the entire situation revolving around it. Yeah, I know my video is misinformed, and I accused someone of things I not only don't have evidence for, but also didn't bother to look up the laws on. But I'm not removing it because I'm going to retroactively gather more evidence after the fact. I have such a headache. And in response to the user, Nice Stories, pointing out that Graffiti had gone on to fake evidence in response to Ponder's subtweet and the entire community's backlash, I said retroactively get evidence, not retroactively make it up. It just... oh good lord, the panicky final tweet I saw from them before leaving last night makes weirdly more sense now. I want to take a moment to point something out that not many have acknowledged throughout the initial covering of the situation. Not only was Graffiti 13 years old at the time, the overwhelming pressure of having a larger content creator press you for evidence after the fact, but also that Pondersprocket was an idol to Graffiti, something I would know firsthand. I mention this not to defend Graffiti, but to give reasoning for their irresponsibility and haste with the handling of the situation. Pondersprocket has every right to criticize a situation or person, but the majority of the people handling this situation go on to bash Graffiti and bow to their oh-so-glorious Pondersprocket. The persecutors of the situation will go on to show their unabashedly poor criticisms later on. Later that same month, Graffiti would make another video on Klug, fronting these fake screenshots as if they were real. With the growing of said video, the criticism and harassment only skyrocketed, and on the new year of 2022, Graffiti would upload a recording to their channel called Happy Fucking New Year, in which they go on to self-harm on multiple occasions during the video. This video would be a blaring red flag to those who watched it, being taken down within a couple hours of posting. Fans came out in concern for their well-being. It's not every day that your favorite content creator posts a self-harm video. Or maybe it is in the art community, I don't know. In response to fans' concerns, Graffiti would explain the video on their community tab. Okay, so I just opened up YouTube. I have no idea what happened, but I blacked out for a few hours and everything is fucking chaos. I have no memory of what happened and like 40 less subscribers. I am genuinely confused on what happened. I looked at all my previous community posts and I think I know what happened, but please tell me if I'm wrong. So, I seem to have a breakdown from a video made on me and blacked out. I relapsed and started vent posting on my community tabs and Instagram talking about how much I wanted to kill myself. I looked through all the comments, around 300 plus, and did I post a video of me self-harming? What the actual fuck? I'm disgusted that I've done this, or I think I've done this, and holy fuck, I am so fucking sorry. I am genuinely so disgusted with myself. I need a serious break from YouTube. I had 20 plus DMs worried about me, and I cannot apologize enough for that. I'm sorry for the harm I've caused, and you're all extremely valid to yell and hate me for this, and honestly I don't blame you. This isn't the first time I've done awful shit due to a breakdown, but I'm trying to make sure it's the last. I hurt people, and I am so sorry for that. It doesn't matter if I blacked out or not. What happened happened, and it was because of me. On the other hand, a shocking amount of you wanted me dead. I'm actually not mad at that. Anybody who commented that I should die, honestly, I'm not going to attack or defend myself. I deserved all the hate I got. They explained in a flurry of emotion they vented publicly on their platform and essentially blacked out. I'm not doubting their story, but you can't make this up. Whether you think they are telling the truth or not, they take some accountability in this post, sincerely apologizing. Although it doesn't help the fans who might have been hurt or traumatized from the video, it still stands as a testament to an apology from Graffiti. Not only did the harassment continue, this video opened up leeway for others to attack Graffiti, reposting it and telling them to quote-unquote just do it already. Graffiti would claim on multiple occasions that they did in fact not fake these screenshots, giving two stories, one of which would be in private DMs over Instagram where they claim they have no recollection of faking the screenshots, in which the user on the other end told them that they in fact did. The other retells claiming that someone had sent them screenshots and they faked them.
So, I was like, oh shit, I need solid evidence. So this person, they DM'd me, alright, they DM'd me, and I stupidly believed whatever evidence they had, even if it was flawed, even if it was stupid, because I was having a breakdown. I was like, oh no, Ponder Sprocket is going to make an exposed video on me since she was, vague tweeting about me, and I just couldn't handle that. So, I sort of I just kind of was like, oh shit, I need evidence. So this random person approached me with badly faked, poorly made evidence. So I went into Ebus Paint, right? I took the smudge and the blur feature, because I haven't used it in years, blurred everything out, or tried to, and everybody thought I faked the screenshots because the names are so similar.
Despite both of these claims, screenshots would be publicized before Graffiti had even made the fake screenshots, showing that they had the pure intention to do so. This effort, at not only faking screenshots, but also lying, would prove to be more than enough for the community to criticize them, and criticize them, they did. It's about this time where my involvement with Graffiti Alopia started to slip. Early 2022 would prove to be tough for Graffiti, or how they were known at the time, Robin. In February of the same year, Robin would post a video in which they pose as their brother, claiming Robin themselves had passed away. They go under many comments and tweets posing as their brother and using the N-word, and all the time I knew them, I didn't know they were based like that. In fact, Robin was not dead in the slightest. Their brother, at the time, claimed they were in a hospital after stabbing themselves. After Robin returned to their platform, they attempted to prove that their brother did this by calling him on the phone. The call would prove to be fake, just Robin talking back to a recording of themselves.
Yeah, they're fucking against you now.
Okay, I didn't really like him, but it just doesn't really matter, so it's fine.
It's kind of a long story, but I said you died.
Wait,
so that would get you. Stop! Calm down.
What did you do?
Jesus, fuck! You're crazy. It's not that big of a deal. Just get offline.
What the fuck?
You can't make this shit up, bro. If you wanted to click off the video for your own mental purposes, now would be the time, because it's not going to get any better, as the descent of Robin's mental state only furthered. Robin, about a month later, would attempt to commit suicide on livestream. They would update the next day, explaining that they were fine, but that they had shoved their rabbit aside during this situation. Their wording was very questionable, stating in the description that they tried to strangle their rabbit that day. Now, if you were to ask me, I'd say not only was this just poor wording, and that they say differently in the video.
I was having a panic attack over my rabbit, and I was scared that I hurt her. Yesterday I was having a panic attack, and I sort of gripped my bunny by the throat and shoved her away really roughly, and I couldn't stop thinking of that. So.
But also, why are we expecting someone who tried to end their own life not even 24 hours prior to be choosing their words very wisely? The fact that this misunderstanding would cause so much more to come is almost unbelievable that people didn't come to their senses. But I digress. Obviously, people would be moreover concerned for the well-being of Robin's pet. No one wants to sit idly by as an animal is put in an abusive living situation. Despite this, the mishandling of the rest of the situation would be almost unbelievable. Starting mere weeks later, a stream from the Pupcast, a video from Father Ashton, and a plethora of videos from Goat Catto would all be released. All arguably being trash videos as far as it stands. Firstly, Father Ashton's video would provide the majority of evidence and ignorant debunking of Robin's mental health issues. For the other videos, there are some pretty funny clips from those videos that I do want to go over quickly as well.
First of all, they're alive. Duh. Don't worry. What vibe did you personally get from that? Robin took around 6 100mg ibuprofen tablets for a total of 600 milligrams. You can take a maximum of 800 milligrams safely. Surely, if they were actually trying to end it, they would know this. If it was a spur-of-the-moment thing, they would still know taking a few tablets would do nothing. I believe this is an emotionally complicated issue for most people, where most people may attempt or do dangerous things with their lives on a whim out of emotional duress. You don't have to do major damage for it to be considered a real attempt, honestly. This is a very complicated issue. You may have noticed I said most people because I don't think this group includes Robin.
They didn't actually kill themselves, guys, so that means their attempt doesn't fall under valid. Hey, here's something funny. The average time to kill someone using strangulation is about 3 to 4 minutes, give or take. If I strangle you for maybe a minute to a minute and 30 seconds, did I not commit attempted murder? If you try to hang yourself and the rope you used wasn't heavy duty enough to kill you / hold you, is that not an attempt? The logic used in this video was so backwards, it's unreal. This was the backbone of the rest of these videos' arguments. Speaking of,
I think you know by now that people are most likely going to say you faked things. Doesn't that hurt? Doesn't that bother you beyond belief? I know it would bother me, especially when I'm dealing with stuff. It makes you feel like shit when even one person says you're lying or faking it. So why do you keep doing this? And that's the thing I wanted to talk about. Like, if you're really somebody who is dealing with a lot, like, mentally, I don't understand how you could put yourself through this so many times and have so many people even coming to your stream being like, do it, just do it for real. You know? I don't understand that. I don't get why you feel the need to prove anything, which I think is why people are constantly bashing you for faking stuff. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, the suicide attempt didn't seem real. You don't overdose on 2 pills of 400mg ibuprofen that easily. And I think Action even showed what the, like, actual, like, what's an okay dosage to take, and it was, yeah, it's within the, like, okay dose. You claim you threw up whatever pills you took too. Why are you slurring in your video? Pills don't take effect that quickly. It's just logics and science. It doesn't take a whole lot to understand that, yeah, you weren't really overdosing on stream. And then he says, wait, where is it? He says, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Maybe you do have a problem, but even though you might be faking stuff, why? If your life was so perfect and you were so happy with yourself, I don't know why you'd be on here trying to get people's attention like this. Maybe you're lonely, maybe you feel like no one cares, but dude, this really isn't the way to do it. It's triggering and even insulting to those who have
goes further than that, because so many people, and this is kind of like one of the big things I wanted to bring up, so many people think that by being mean to this person, you will get them to stop, or they're like overly harsh, or like super like, I don't know, you're an idiot, what are you doing, that kind of stuff. But actually that pushes them and their fans further into like this whole cult-like mentality, because it really feels like a cult. Like, these people are so for this person, even when it's really obvious that something is fake, or you tell them like, hey, this is not real, they don't care. They just don't even care.
But now I just want to ask, because since all three of us have seen like the latest live stream, what are your thoughts based on what like you've seen during the live stream? Maybe Jack, because he hasn't been able to talk. We've been talking so much.
What? Oh no, you're fine. I was just waiting I was just waiting patiently. I thought you guys could do like the introduction stuff. As far as my thoughts go, though, with the live stream, is that it is very clearly just an act for attention.
Also, Ray asks, why would you post any of your self-harm / attempts online? When I feel that way, my first thought isn't, oh wait, let me set a stream up. Also, Ray asks, why would you post any of your self-harm / attempts online? When I feel that way, my first thought isn't, oh wait, let me set a stream up and everything.
Yeah. That's a good point. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that at the end of their streams, whenever they quote-unquote pass out, the camera mysteriously goes dark, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the last stream, they were supposedly passed out, but then you could see their camera was moving. They were moving their laptop so that they could turn off the stream while they were laying down. It was like...
Well, here's the thing. You guys are taking him more seriously than I am. I am not taking this kid seriously. Like, whatsoever.
I'm just scared, honestly.
I've seen some really messed up stuff in the past. You know, I'm not taking this seriously. I'm not taking this.
Blackstar said, "You're faking. My evidence, you're not dead."
Yeah.
To summarize, they essentially just harp on Robin for faking their mental health issues, then go on to contradict themselves by saying how hurtful it would be to be accused of faking it. They also misinform their audience, misconstruing Ashton's already flawed point of the milligrams not adding up to a fatal dose, proving their pure lack of research on a video that was already false to begin with. Real bottom of the barrel stuff right here. I do want to openly state, Ashton has not only made a follow-up video realizing and attempting to reconcile for their mistakes, but also privately stated that the regret that followed the production of that video. So, good for them, right? On April 2nd, 2022, a user by the name of Crying Blossom, another art commentator, would make videos regarding Robin's situation, providing most of the evidence on the situation and rationally explaining it. Aside from a few petty comments and the criticism against Robin's wording in the rabbit situation, the video was perfect as a testament to all the controversy and situations revolving around Robin. On June 1st, 2022, a channel by the name of Dramadogg would formulate a document in which they describe and provide archived evidence for all claims made against Robin in the years of their internet time, some being unknown to the public. To list a couple briefly: usage of derogatory slurs, using not only the F slur on stream, also the N word, P word, and R word. Although the last is a tad shaky, as Robin is neurodivergent, so it really depends on who you're talking to. Then again, they are 14 and 13 years old in the context of these screenshots. Obviously, said context is awful, but 14-year-olds usually find slurs funny, and I'd be hard-pressed to find one that isn't. Stalking. This document also claims that Robin is an online stalker, with the passage, "A Discord user has made it known to me that Elliot stalks them and their friends. They do not interact with him anymore and want nothing to do with him, yet he continues to stalk." Whether this claim is true is up for grabs, considering the lack of evidence. The rabbit situation. Many screen caps of instances of Robin expressing the need for pain infliction against her animal were used as a point in this situation. However, these are mostly misconstrued and twisted. The real screenshots stating that they are unstable and crave to hurt in general, not solely their pet. Screenshots leaked of Robin conversing with another individual regarding their rabbit after the attempt in February of 2022, in which they defend themselves from the entire situation. Posing as an adult, this document claims that Robin lied about their age to not only get access to not safe for work Twitters, but also Discords. This point would be kind of a nothing burger, but with the addition of drawing not safe for work for minors with a new Twitter, poses a whole new problem. Ha, dude, what the fuck? Not only this, they made a video prior to this called "Is Sexualizing Fictional Minors Really an Issue?", which would be immense foreshadowing to them drawing not safe for work material of the 15-year-old Metal Family character D, going on to defend it. Robin's other attempts. I don't know why this needs to be another section of this video, but a drive link to this document would show multiple instances of Robin threatening or attempting suicide on livestream, as well as their self-harm videos. Wow. They claim that all their attempts are fake, except for when they actually self-harm, which, real great logic, they were all faked except for when they weren't. There is more in the document, and I do recommend you check it out for yourself, although viewer discretion is advised. Despite the easy to access evidence, there are a few borderline problems with it. For one of Robin's self-harm videos is censored pretty immaturely. To the creator of this video, whether it be dramadogg or another third-party source, this is pretty fucked up as far as it stands. This document's points against Robin faking mental illness or the entire animal abuse situation are pretty lackluster, conforming to basically every other surface level take on the situations at hand. In all, Robin would publicize a video announcing that they would delete all of their social media. For whatever reason, they came back not too long after to post on a not safe for work account. Their efforts would be sniffed out, however, causing them to delete their account once again, bringing their online chapter to a close. This situation would live on throughout videos on Robin, remaining still and silent for months now. The most recent would be that of the likes of Streamline Workshop, who played a major part in the making of this video, so shout out to them. Graffiti or Robin's whereabouts are currently unknown, their persona online being totally and utterly destroyed into nothing less than shambles. Robin was clearly an individual that suffered through heavy mental health problems, and I can only hope they've sought out help outside of the internet. I've attempted to reach out to Robin on multiple occasions now, in pure desperation, but they haven't responded, and I don't expect them to. Not anytime soon, at least. And with that, it may be a good thing. Their possible improvement streak might be ruined by a return to their online platform. In all, the situation has died down, rarely ever talked about in the current year. But of course, I just had to ruin it all with this video, guys. To all helped in the making of this video, I thank you. And to Robin, one of my oldest friends on this platform, I wish you the best, no matter how many mistakes and mishaps happen through your struggles. In all, I've been salty. I don't even fucking know anymore, dude.